Welcome to the Land Your Bet Sports Betting Show live stream. Had a little day off there with no games in the league, but we're back. We're ready to go. We got some people already floating in. What's good, y'all? Got street cred. What's good, G-Bag? Good to have you in here, bro. Let's get some of these bets up. I'll take a look at this in one sec for you, bro. And then we got DB in here. Always good to have you in here, fam. Gang. Going to be joined by a couple folks in this one. Going to get Prop Bomb in here. Going to get Pips in here as well, creator of Props Madness. So I'll get both those homies in here in just one sec. I want to go over a couple quick things with you, and then I'm going to send them the link to come on into the stream. Going to have those bets rolling on the bottom line as well. So whatever you see, I got my bets up there. As soon as Prop Bomb and Pips get in here, we're going to throw their stuff on the bottom line as well with some of these bets. I want to show you guys what I have before I get them in here real quick, and we'll go from there. So if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, make sure you jump in there. I was taking a look at matchups earlier in that video too. I'll show you that real quick and go into the 4 best bets that I have and a future bet as well if you want that one. Everybody here you see is going to be guarding each other, but really the guards and the forwards are going to be splitting time. So like Nembhard, Drew Holiday, yeah, that'll be a matchup, but Derek White's going to spend some time on Nembhard and vice versa. These dudes will be switching back and forth. Same with Tatum and Brown. Other thing I mentioned is look for Tatum to kind of match up on like a center like Miles Turner or Tyrese Halliburton and just kind of play off and maybe mix things up a little bit for Missoula's defense to kind of keep them off their balance and get some of that stuff. So keep an eye on those matchups. I'm going to be looking at both these game ones that are coming with the matchups early. First bet I have here that's my favorite one in this game is going to be under for Peyton Pritchard. The only reason you wouldn't like this, to be honest, is if you think that this game does turn into a blowout. I expect the Pacers to be a little bit closer in this series than most people think. I do like Boston to win in 5, which I'll show you in a sec. But for Peyton Pritchard, like this has just gotten a little bit high unless you think that he's going to get garbage time minutes. And I'm not ready to just declare that Boston is going to blow this team out every time, especially in game 1. So game 1 would be a little bit more likely for them to get a blowout, to be honest with you. But I'm still feeling pretty good about Pritchard to be playing more with the second unit, or the first unit rather. And when he plays with that first unit, that means more catch and shoot, which means not good against the Pacers, who are basically the best catch and shoot defense in the league because of how they play. Also don't like really assists for a guy like Jason Tatum as a result. Like I don't think Jason Tatum's gonna be looking to dish as a primary scorer on this team. Primary scorers just get theirs against this Pacer squad because they don't double down. I got a couple of bets coming in from you guys too. What's up, QNZ Finest? We got OB Toppin in here. I can put that in here. Tyler likes the over. Yeah, I mean, be careful with just using the regular season stats to go. I'm assuming that this is going to be how it goes in the playoffs. It definitely slows down a little bit. Not for the Pacers though. So it's a good point. I still like the over in this game too. I'm not ready to go crazy on it, but 220.5 is a bit low. It's come down from 222.5 too. So some people were betting the under. Keep that in mind so you don't go too crazy there. Finishing up what I got here though, I did take Papa Al under, and this is going to be a half a unit for Papa Al. Hold up one sec. You're going to see a couple half unit bets because of the fact that I'm, like I said, feeling out this series a little bit. We want to see how these matchups go, and these coaches can switch things up at the drop of a hat, right? If they want in the middle of the playoffs, as opposed to playing the same way that they did in the regular season. So keep that in mind. But I am going to go half a unit on Al under for even money on the PRA. A lot of this is recency numbers. He's not been involved in the offense nearly as much as rebound chances, his potential assists, all down. So it's not something that I'm necessarily like the strongest feeling, because obviously if they leave Al open from 3, then he has the shot to, kind of go over on the points, right? The 9.5 points is where he's at on the core line. So that's going to be something that we watch for, though, is how are they playing him? Are they going to leave him a bit more open in his matchup with Miles Turner or not? And I know some people who like Miles Turner over on 3s, so that's a consideration. But I actually like under for the PRA for Miles Turner. Another half a unit bet because I want to see how they play him as well. Are they going to allow him to shoot a little bit more? Is he going to get those open looks? But he's been so much worse on the road in these playoffs that I'm going to go ahead and buy into him at about 18. What is he at? Like 19, 20 points, rebounds, and assists combined that he's averaging on the road in these playoffs. The usage goes down a bit, up at 19% or so. We've seen that be higher for him. So I'm going to keep going under for him for right now. We'll see how that goes in Boston. And then TJ McConnell, I think this is a bet that's safe regardless of the matchups. I do think they'll rely on him, and as opposed to Miles Turner. TJ gets a ton of stuff on the road, a lot more shots, and barely is there anything more guaranteed than TJ McConnell from 8 feet away, taking that little runner in the lane? No, there is not. So we're going to take him because with the points, but I also like the assists, and the points are at 9.5. So if you take just those, that falls right under my rule of thumb for TJ McConnell, which is if he's at a prop less than 10 points, I'm going to take the over because he shoots 10 times a game. He makes 5 of them on average. That equals 10 points. Just simple math right there. Not even hood math. Just keeping it at the numbers here, which are telling us that as long as he takes 10 shots, which he's very likely to do because that's what he averages up at about 11 field goal attempts in the playoffs too, then yeah, we're going to be good for him to make 5 of them when he's shooting that high percentage of those shots. And they're all from 2. In fact, if you find a bet that you can use in a parlay where you take TJ McConnell under 1 made 3, I like that too. He does barely even attempts threes at this point, and it really never has. So yeah, you look at the assists. Like I said, adding those is because he's done this a lot against Boston. He has dimed up pretty well. And so this should be a situation where he's still going to be in there with Tyrese Halliburton a good amount. They like those 2 guard lineups with those 2 guys in there. So we still like TJ to get his and keep it rolling in this series. And then for the Celtics, I'm going to take them in 5. I'm actually considering a bet in 6, but if I take a 6 and a 5, then I'm basically looking at coming out with like not very much winning there. Like I'm watered down my bet a ton. It's basically a hedge if you think that the Pacers are going to win 2 games. If this thing is 3-1 going into game 5, I got to take the Celtics. The Pacers have been so much better at home than on the road. If they play this game 5 in Boston, then I don't really have any faith in the Pacers to pull that particular game out. So let's keep it rolling. I'm going to hit up Prop Bomb and Pips and get them in here as soon as they're able. And we'll add them to the stream as well. Let me see if I can get this in here. All right. But for now, let me look at some of these bets that you guys have. And everything I just went through is scrolling on the bottom line. Everything's good. I just had to change the Wi-Fi so that we don't get cut off when they come back. But we're good to go. All right, I'm looking at some of these stuff in the comments while we wait for the homies, and we'll get that in there. So I got an Obi Toppin look. I'll throw him in here. Obi, it's 7.5 points. It's a little bit better. He got up to 9.5, right, in the last series because he was balling out against those Knicks. If you believe in the revenge narrative, then you probably believe that Obi played a little bit above his pay grade in the last series. So we'll see how we like that. Everybody likes this. I think I have to add it. I mean, at this point, I'm just getting peer pressured into Jaylen Brown over 5.5 first quarter points. I believe that is a look already from Prop Bomb, who's going to be on here in a minute. So I'll let him talk about that if he's able to jump in a sec. But we'll add it to the list. Let's see. We got Tatum on the double-double. Chris, let me know what that's at for Tatum double-double. Let me just put Tatum in here in general because I haven't looked at him. But let me know what odds you're seeing for Tatum on the DD, and we'll keep it rolling. Yeah, I do. I think you can still get this. So Brown and Tatum in the first quarter was a bet that we were comboing in their points. Pretty much every game in the last series, it was 6 points for Tatum, 5 points for Brown. So we took the alt line there. And I'll start sharing my screen here in a minute so I can show you exactly what I'm talking about. But that was a bet that was at about even money, even got plus money a couple times for Tatum and Brown to get theirs in the first quarter. And we took a little bit of an alt line there. Brown, I really love at the 5+. Yeah, real quick, just because I saw Tyler talking about it, I think their whole shit crashed. I think everything just bombed for them, which was like their software, honestly. And I mean, to be honest, their software is way better than mine. So I think it was just probably like an overload or something that had something to do with them. But yeah, I couldn't make it today either. But apparently the stream kind of bunked for Kyle. Maybe I'll be getting some of y'all in here from Kyle's stream. We can see if we like that. Maybe I should just get Kyle in here too. But either way, let's keep it moving. I was talking about that Brown first quarter stuff. I'm going to bring up my screen here so that I can show you guys what I'm looking at. I don't even have a 1 shot. Do I have a 2 shot in here? Yeah, I do. Okay. Let me see right quick. I'll share my screen in 1 sec. Hold up. But yeah, I'm going to be looking at that first quarter. But I just want to bring that up right away, to be honest with you, so I can see where we're at with that one. Give me 1 second to get that up. Hold up. Wait a minute. Put a little love in it. All right. This is on me. I fucked up. Stand by. But I want to get my screen shared so I can show this to y'all. And for that, I need the correct graphic in here. So let me get that up right quick. Live. All right. Pulling this up, and I'm going to share my screen so you guys can see what we got coming down the pipeline. But I'm going to be pulling up props.cash. If you do need a props.cash account still, you can get that. But I got PB with me, and I actually want you to be helpful here with me, my guys. So I'm going to pull this up real quick and get Prop Bomb on here. What's good, brother?
Hey, how's it going, Josh? How's it going, man?
Good, man. Good to have you back on, bro, especially for game one of a series. Do you have your usual like caution tale of like, yo, we got to see these matchups? Is that kind of how you're feeling about game one of this series?
Yeah. I mean, we kind of have a little bit of it. They recently played in the in-season tournament, so that was kind of like the closest thing we saw. But yeah, I really have one prop officially locked in the system. But I do have a couple of leans though that I do want to kind of share. We can kind of get to when we talk to the players individually, and I can kind of bring them up. I think
Cool.
that's how we could do it best. I mean, there's really not that much to talk about aside from just going down each player.
Yep, 100%. Yeah, we're pretty much just gonna be able to go through like everybody. We got one game, so we might as well just keep it simple, right? And put everybody up on the screen. I'm trying to see what people are putting in the comments. So if you do have a bet, jump in there and let me know what's good, and we can add it to the list. But I imagine we'll be looking at as many angles for pretty much every player as we can. I was about to take that first quarter bet, and that's what everybody here and everybody's been coming at me with. And I have a slight feeling that it came from the fact that you put it out. And then I know a lot of people are like, yo, what do you think about this? Because somebody else said it and I really like it.
Yeah.
And I do like it. I was actually going with Tatum 5+ points. I'm sorry, Tatum 6+ points, Brown 5+ as a little combo parlay there that I was playing in the last series. Yeah, that hit very consistently. Now it's like Tatum is up at 7.5, which I'm not even really that scared of. But talk me through some of the first quarter stuff that you were looking at.
Yeah, simply with Jaylen Brown, I prefer to choose him over Jason Tatum when attacking the first quarter market, just because I didn't think that first quarter line is caught up to where it should be. I think this is a line that, game 2, game 3, it's probably going to be 6.5.
Yeah,
and it's just not caught up. But with Jaylen Brown, the way he kind of like creates his offense is he's more of like a driver. You know what I mean? Like he likes to drive to the basket. They'll give him the ball at the perimeter, and he'll try to like create mismatches and drive in. And with the Cleveland Cavaliers series, he had to face up against Evan Mobley or Tristan Thompson.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Tristan Thompson, but and then in the other series, he had to face up against who did he play again? Remind me. Just
in Miami.
Miami, yeah, Bam Adebayo. So I like the matchup here. I mean, the Pacers aren't really known to give up a lot of points. They aren't really like known to be a stifling good paint defense. Nope. So I think that's where he's going to get his best points, and he leads all Boston Celtics players in rim points. So I think it's a nice upside spot. It's really only 3 made baskets, maybe 2 if you get an and one and a 3-pointer.
Yeah.
And in the last meeting, he took 7 shots. And that's also going 0 for 2 from 3 and still managed to get over. I also sprinkled first quarter leader at plus 400. Now it's plus 300. So I think that's a good look. I think it's a pretty strong look. I think he has a nice upside. Finally a good series for him.
I love that. I love that FanDuel is giving us that first quarter points leader. I think we probably saw a little bit of the PB push where Prop Bomb puts out a bet, somebody stitches to the books, and then that thing gets juiced all the way down. You can still get over 5.5 in the first quarter for him, but like I said, that thing gets juiced down at this point. Let me get Pips in here too. Since we got the man, the myth. Damn it, happened again. Hold on, let me switch you guys.
It's okay.
No, I mean, Pips, it could be worse people to be compared to, right? I guess at the very least. At least you guys respect each other.
Yeah.
You guys hate each other. It'd be tough. What's good, brother? How you doing?
Nah, I'm just Lander. Just came home from playing squash with my friends.
Nice.
So yeah, need to take a shower. So good thing you can't like smell me. Like.
Yeah, we don't have smell vision up here. We just got that. Also got Daft in the chat. What's up, man? Good to have you in here. Let us know what you're playing.
Hey,
what everybody wants to know.
Yeah, get him on here, man. Can we do 4 people?
We could probably get a 4-banger in here. Daft, let me know if you're done being a good dad and taking care of your daughter and you want to come through. But no, obviously, like drop your daughter off safely. Well, yeah, you're welcome, bro. I'll send you the link if you want to come in. Either way, I'm glad that I have as many people in here as possible to help me look at as much stuff as possible, because this is one game. I love to be able to look at multiple things, right?
Yeah.
And let me pull up Prop Madness as well and make sure that we have that in there. I'm just going to show Jaylen Brown.
I
Go
just
ahead.
saw one line and I'm like, is this real? Like, I may be betting it right now, but why is Halliburton 17.5? Like,
did he drop? What? How did this drop?
ATR had like very low.
Hold on one moment. I have to just hop off camera just for 10 seconds.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, so ETR came in.
I'm pro again.
Stay with. Actually, you know what? I even have something for this too.
Don't care.
No, you can be pips.
Yeah.
Look at that. You're pips again. Yeah. What is the deal with that? Because this was at 19.5. It was even at 20.5. I thought to open for Halliburton. Do you know what's going on there?
Yeah, I just said like ATR.
Just because ETR had it. Right.
Yeah.
So because Established the Run essentially said that they projected him at like 17 or 18 points, they put this at 17
points something. Yeah. I usually like look at when I want to bet the opposite side, I usually get sometimes I get like a discount because they move.
Yeah. So where do you think we're at with that right now with Halliburton?
I like projections for the bench guys from these, but they don't account into projections like if they are double teaming in single coverage and stuff like that, which is crucial for the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So I think like going against them sometimes when line drops is a good thing.
Yeah. So we're now getting a ton of value on Halliburton points at 17.5, right?
Yeah, I'll wait for Prop Bomb to come back so I can share it with my people so they can bet it.
For sure. Is there anything that you're looking at specifically for him?
No, I'm just take a look at his we have playoff data now. I don't know if you saw that, but we have playoff, like specifically playoff. You can just
here we go. Love
and
that.
you can look at the play types and shot map only for playoff. Like that's regular season excluded, only for playoff.
This is huge, dude. I love this. Wait, I got to make this a little bit bigger. I love that you did that because that is so helpful here to be able to go down and look at like all this stuff when it was for the regular season. It was like it was helpful, but we also need to like be able to see what's been the change in all this stuff in the playoffs.
Some teams adjust a bit more, so it's series to series, but overall, some teams are like if you look at the Pacers, like they are still good spot up team, spot up defense. They are still good transition defense, like they did in the regular season. So that means like you can count on it more. Like but you need to always turn off the button for playoffs.
Turn it off. I didn't. I turned it. Okay, it was back.
When you turn it on, it's off playoffs. When you turn it off, it's all games together. And in regular season on only regular season. So
got it. So if there's no filter on here, you're looking at every game, including the playoffs.
Yeah.
Or you can do just regular season or just that's huge. Yeah. This thing gets better and better every day, man. Congrats. Yeah. Okay, so for that in mind, like for Halliburton, and now that PB is back too, I know you wanted to wait for him for a sec, but like PB, this dropped to 17.5 for Halliburton.
Okay, interesting.
Hold on.
What was that? Must be tips. Okay, good. We got it fixed.
There you go.
No, it's interesting. That probably just has to do with the last series and the whole Miles McBride effect. And I think the Boston Celtics should probably feel a little bit more comfortable with their defenders. So that way, it's more so kind of like a Tyler Hero like situation. It's going to be more just. I don't think it's going to be as like difficult as it was where Miles McBride was just giving him no space to like even breathe. He was like face masking him the whole game. Yeah,
100%. So now his matchup is going to be. I couldn't really nail it down. I was showing everybody earlier that basically like the matchups are like the forwards are interchangeable, and then the guards are interchangeable, and then really the only consistent will be Miles Turner and Al Horford because. It seemed like throughout and this is the regular season and there's not very much use case, but like like I don't think that Joe Maz really cares if Tatum or Brown are guarding Nesmith or Pascal. Like I think Tatum starts on Pascal, but they also showed a propensity to use Tatum for like to guard anybody, including point guards and centers at time, to kind of mix it up and keep them on their toes. I expect that to be the case here as well. So for Halliburton, it's just a lot of switches, but I don't think that they're going to like key in and necessarily say like, oh, we're not going to let him shoot or anything like that. I think he knows he has to be aggressive. There was so
definitely.
much.
Here's my caution though. There's two cautions that I have for this bet. If I were to take the under on it, the first thing would be similar to kind of what they were doing last series, what the Knicks were doing, is they were just kind of putting him in action a lot on defense. They would use McBride as a screener. They would kind of want to switch onto him, make him work on defense, and I think that can kind of play an effect and kind of tire him out on offense. If every single possession they know that he's the weakest defender on the court, Naismith isn't, Nembhard isn't. They want to probably put Halliburton as that kind of point of attack guy if they're going to be switching the Celtics on offense. That could maybe drain him a little bit. And I also think too, what was I going to say with Halliburton? It's a game one for him. So if you go to his usage charts for game one last series and then the game one in the series before, he had his lowest usage rates in the game ones. I don't know if it's a pattern or not. I don't know if it's like maybe he just wants to test out the water, see how the offense reacts. But I did notice that game ones he's not that involved. But maybe like it could be a point of emphasis to be involved this game one because they need to.
So they didn't make the playoffs last year, right? To be able to get this.
So just look at the game one. Just look at the usage rates. Like you'll see, like those were both games where he was just feeling out offenses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, 11.5% combined in both of these. So one of them probably went under. It's probably like 12 and 10 essentially for these usage rates for Halliburton, something around there. So that you kind of are saying just be aware that like that has been his tendency and that could be something we see in game one again.
I can't tell if it's a pattern or if it's just product of the defense and maybe he just wasn't ready.
Yeah
What do you think, Pips? You think that could be a trend?
I don't know, because both games they lost in the first game. Now maybe like, okay, we can allow yours to be so passive because we lost both of these first games when you were passive, and I don't think he can have even have a chance to be passive because it's Boston Celtics.
Yeah,
they don't allow role players to score. They put you can go back to Props Madness. This will be like a huge tell. Go back to Prop Madness and turn on playoffs and go back to the play types. Play types are like a huge way to say, like Boston Celtics allow by far the most points to it's 16 because there are 16 teams in playoffs. So they are dead last in points allowed to pick and roll ball handlers. They were just putting like Garland was getting everything he wanted. Mitchell was also getting a lot of good looks. Like they were like, okay, we'll do the same thing like in defense. Drew Holiday or Derek White single coverage and beat us. And I think that's a great way to defend Pacers. If Halliburton is not creating for his teammates, not putting Naismith top in Nembhard in situation to spot up, or Turner,
they may do that. No, you're right. No, I may not, and I may be. I don't know if I'm right or wrong here. If you could check this out, Josh, check out what the catch and shoot percentage was for the opposing playoff teams. If you could look at for 3-pointers. Because my theory here is that what Pips was about to say was that they're taking out the role players and they're making the guy who creates the offense the scorer.
But you can see the Prop Madness spot up. I mean,
spot ups, in the playoffs.
Right, because we already have the playoff stuff. My bad. Yeah.
I must have missed this conversation. Did you update this also for the playoffs?
Yeah. We have data for playoffs only. You just need to click playoffs upstairs, and you have play types and zones only for playoffs.
Yeah, which is so sick.
And spot up, they are third best. So, and also they play teams with a lot of spot up.
Yeah, that's great. So. Oh my God, there you go.
Yeah.
And what were they in the regular season?
They were also good against spot ups. You're talking about Boston?
You can just switch to regular season and look. Like, I don't know. I think they are like 5th best, maybe
10th. Yeah.
10th best. But
Third best
Yeah.
team, so probably the best team. I guess Indiana would also be the best.
Yep. In the
But
regular,
also another thing for Halliburton, you can go to the playoffs again and just check the shooting zones. Like this is a perfect matchup for him.
yeah,
If you take a look,
Okay.
he's
Oh, I
scoring.
see. Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah, he's scoring 55% from above the break three.
yeah,
And if you look at the Celtics, they allow that.
Yeah.
They are completely okay with Halliburton shooting pull up threes. Like
Yeah.
they will sag off and let him like shoot over us.
yeah,
And yeah, I think if you look at the pick and roll ball handler and shooting zones, it's perfect matchup.
yeah. I fully understand, and that was the
I like
case
it
during the
too,
regular
yeah.
season too, though, right? Like even if you pull
I
up the
mean,
regular season,
honestly, I don't trust Halliburton. That's the thing. But numbers look great, so I can pass on 17.5.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. No.
And
Also, as well,
he did
too.
have,
Yeah.
before they started McBride to face up the defense on him, he did score 34 and 35.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, and he shot so much. And I think against Boston Celtics, he is probably taking 18 plus field goal attempts because
Mhm.
the ball will be in his hands and no one will be open because Boston Celtics don't allow spot up.
yeah. They're both playing defense similarly in that sense, so that makes total sense to me.
I had
So
two
neither of
things-
you are placing a
two
bet though
things
on
real quick
Halliburton.
for Halliburton. That I'm kind of like leaning into the over now.
Yeah.
Just compared to Garland. Garland is 6'1". Halliburton 6'5". Overall, a taller player, which is going to help, especially because like Garland was undersized up against Drew Holiday and Derek White. So I think like the size could maybe help out shooting over these players in isolation, and also too with Halliburton. So I'm going to say. Yeah, I mean, I think what he's saying could be a good game plan for the Celtics, is just let him win and don't get the teammates involved.
Right. So does that?
Also, you can
Yeah, go
look at
ahead.
the entire games, all the games. Just put points and like turn off both filters. Just look at the field goal attempts when he takes 15 to 25. I think he can get probably in 20 range, but he's killing this line like when he's getting
That's the thing,
those
and not
attempts.
only that, Pips, but like the wins when he shoots like this, they win. I had a stat earlier that was basically in their losses, Halliburton was shooting like 4 less times than in their wins, and like it's a little bit skewed because when they get blown out, then he just doesn't play the fourth quarter, so he shoots less. That makes sense.
Yeah.
At the same time, even if you do like if you filter out the ability the blowouts, you still get that there's a big difference, right, between him shooting the ball from deep, especially, and not. Does the 3-point prop interest either of you? Because that's starting to like sound a little bit good to me, even at 3.5. If you look at him for plus 138, even plus 152 on Caesars, like that's a pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, something I was noticing with him too, and this is with me just watching how he makes 3-pointers, is a lot of times in transition, and I believe the Celtics are allowing the most transition points in the playoffs, which is like I think one of their weaknesses. A lot of the times, he likes to like when he runs to the other half of the court, likes to do cross match, like do mismatches, and maybe it's Isaiah Hartenstein on him, and if maybe it's Al Horford who he wants to pick on the top of the perimeter, and do like those crossovers and like a step back and hit a 3. But I noticed that a lot of times like he creates those mismatches in fast breaks.
Right. Yeah, I mean, if he's taking 15 to 25 shots, he's going over unless they win by 22 like they did against Milwaukee here in what I believe is game 3 or game 4. So like it makes sense that the points would be there for him. I can't believe they dropped that low. Pips was saying it's in large part because Establish the Run was basically just like projecting him to not get that amount of points. And so then everything just drops by like 3 points, 2 points.
Yeah.
That might be a little too much credit.
I even saw a couple of sharp guys betting over 18.5 before it dropped. So
yeah.
Yeah.
I think that once you get down to 17.5, like, I don't know. I feel like I really got to hit
it just
that.
kind of comes down to, I think at the end of the day, the way I see the under hitting is like he's just passive, but he can't be. So
yeah, I guess it would be helpful to see how he comes out, because honestly, like when he comes out weak in one game or doesn't shoot or passive,
he's on the injury report too. You know,
then the next game too, though. Once he comes out, like I've been waiting for that, because once he comes out weak in one game or passive, like I keep saying, then the next game he goes pretty. He knows that he has to like make up for that essentially, right?
And also, like we saw what Garland did when Mitchell was out first game. He was so passive the entire playoffs. He averaged like 11 field goal attempts in the entire playoffs. And then Mitchell goes out and he plays Celtics and he puts up 27 field goal attempts.
Yep.
That's the way the Celtics were playing. Like, okay, we are okay with pick and rolls getting to their spots. So also Halliburton added some mid-range game, so he should be able to get at least 2 buckets or 3 buckets from mid-range against drop coverage.
Yeah,
it will be there for him. So yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna put him down right now.
I would like that. Yeah, put that on the short list for now. We can go back to.
I got a leans here. This is all gonna be on the bottom line. So I'm gonna put Hallie over 17.5 points as currently.
I kind of like this,
I'm really liking it. We can come back to it in a sec. I had a couple. I'm going to get to the comments too, what people are bringing up. So
we'll talk about all the players. The game isn't until 8 o'clock. I mean, I don't know how late Pips wants to be on, but I have no really.
Pips needs to shower before long, obviously, but after that squash game. But let's get into Obi real quick. I stayed away from Obi entirely. In full transparency, I had 4 picks in this game and doing a little bit of feeling out. 4 is still a lot, but these are half of them are half unit plays because I do want to feel it out. I didn't touch Obi because of the potential revenge narrative, however you want to look at that, motivation, whatever. He also killed Milwaukee this season whenever he played them. He was a terrible matchup for them. And in part because the bulk of their good defense is on their front unit. And then after that, they're pretty weak on the bench in terms of defense, especially before they got Pat Bev. But now we're talking about Obi, do we believe in this? 7.5, it got up to 9.5 in the last series. Anything for Obi in this one? Because I eventually just stayed away based on, once again, I don't like to have to go back to role players who are going to get 20 minutes and have a clear ceiling, but this Pacers team plays so damn fast and just gets their guys out there for quick spurts that they just go balls to the wall until they get taken out. So it still scares me to go under for Obi, but I don't love going back to an over against a team that should be more apt to be able to defend him. Did either of you guys look at Obi yet?
So earlier I said that I actually just double checked my homework here, my research. I thought that the Celtics allowed a lot of transition points. They actually permit the fewest of all teams in the playoffs. I mixed that up.
Yeah,
I'm surprised no one called me out on that, but
I didn't want to interrupt you. I forgot to say that.
I was letting you do good there.
Okay. So they don't. Yeah. So that obviously is a lot of where he's getting his points from, and then also too, the spot up looks right. He's been so efficient when he's. I'd assume I would wonder what his home road splits are in the playoffs in terms of shooting, because this is obviously it's an away game for him.
So at home a little bit better, averaging 12.7 points at home, going over this number 5 out of 6 times.
Yeah.
If you look at him on the road, dips down to 9.6, still over, and then 4 out of 7 to the over there, with some tough games coming in New York here.
I'm just trying to understand how he would get his minutes though, because they're going to really need. Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
I have a take here. I don't like betting bench guys in game 1 under. They tend to get the most minutes out of the entire series in game 1. So
yeah.
I was actually considering betting he's under at 9.5. He opened 9.5. And now that he moved to 7.5, I don't see it.
I didn't see that.
Yeah. I was checking yesterday, and he was 9.5. So
got you. Damn, that makes total sense.
9.5 is no brainer bet. 9.5 is no brainer, I think. But 7.5 is
what about 13.5 PRA?
Points, rebounds, and assists for Obi.
That seems to be kind of juiced on the under. Not that influences anything, but I think you're going to limit the transition points. To Pips's point, though, in game 1, he may have his highest minute ceiling, but in the last series too, a lot of the case was it was a lot of blowouts in the Knicks Pacers series, and there was a game where Siakam got in foul trouble in the first half, where I think some of the minutes are a little bit misleading coming into the series. And I'm just thinking like they're gonna want to put Siakam and Naismith on Jason Tatum like for 40 plus minutes. So like if Siakam is playing all that time, I just don't see where Toppin can kind of like bite his minutes, so to say, on the team.
Right. Yeah, I mean in Game 7 he played 15
as well.
What's that?
Siakam 19.5
points.
Oh yeah, we should look at Siakam just right after this anyway. I mean, honestly, I'm still leaning over on Obi as those things keep going down. To be honest, like I'm much more in the camp of an over for Obi right. I mean, look, it's hard to say under as I'm staring this in the face with 17.2 per game. So I don't want to be too biased, and I want to stay present with the current matchup. But it's really tough to be like under for Obi Toppin when he just kept slamming the overs. What did he do head to head? Not in the playoffs. Loves playing
the overs.
Barely over in each of them. Yeah, I would imagine that these prop lines were, much lower too than even 13.5 before he really got going.
Most of the games Siakam was out. So.
Right, and Siakam wasn't even here yet. He might have played in this one. Was he on the team yet?
Yeah, he played the last one.
Yeah, he's only played one, right, with them. And Obi still did really well. But let's look at Pascal real quick. So Pascal, if we put him in the playoffs, he is not a dude I've had a read on. So I'm wondering what you guys are thinking about Pascal real quick, and I'll let you guys kick it off.
Go for it first, Pips.
I mean,
what do you look at here?
When teams play single coverage, they need to go to Siakam a lot. Like, probably their best player to score in single coverage. Like, if he gets like some smaller guy on him, he should attack. And
he's gonna be looking at Tatum.
I think Siakam could be in a good spot to have also a good usage tonight. But I can't like everyone over from the Pacers.
Sure.
Yeah. I think they kind of do it. I know how they kind of like to game plan against these like driving, like a Giannis type player where he's a lot of the times like getting his points in the basket. Is they like to place Drew Holiday on him first, like in the perimeter, the first line of defense, and then kind of have with Porzingis in there, they would have used him as like the second layer. But I don't know if it'll be as easy to get. Again, it doesn't help. The transition points are low. Points in the paint are pretty low.
Yeah,
it's tough to see that. This is for me. I would say I would want to see just one game of how like they're using him, what the matchup looks like. I think it's going to be Drew Holiday like at first, and then adding some other help when he does get when he gets close to the paint. So it may make his shots a little harder.
So if you put Drew on him as well, I mean then he's versatile like
that. Do you
that,
agree
right?
with that? Do you think Drew could be on him in the beginning?
Yeah, but probably Brown.
Brown, you think?
Jalen.
Yeah.
And then that means Tatum on Nesmith.
Tatum is in always a roamer for the Celtics.
Yeah.
He is great in lanes. He's their best in lanes. They usually put Jalen Brown on ball handlers because he sucks on ball and he's good at point of attack. But I don't think they put him on Hal Halliburton. It doesn't make sense with Drew and Derek White there. And they don't have movement shooter. They usually put Drew Holiday or White on great movement shooter, like Max Strus, for example. They were defended by White or Drew, but Pacers don't have movement shooter. So probably White or Drew at point of attack. Maybe Drew and Siakam also makes sense. I don't know. It will be interesting to see what
this is what I was saying at the beginning, fellas, is like there's so much versatility for both these teams. There's literally like 8 dudes on the court that could all guard, like 4 on each side, that you wouldn't be surprised to see Tatum on any of those dudes. Although I do think with Kristaps out, you do want Jason Tatum closer to the basket on defense. He's been, if not, I mean, he's been their best rebounder without Kristaps in there. And to be honest, even when Kristaps was in there at the beginning of the playoffs, I still would argue he was the best rebounder. It was just he had somebody that actually.
That's normally where he is. He's normally by the baseline for sure.
Right.
This could be a massive rebounding
game
series for Tatum.
Right.
Because Pacers are one of the best transition defensive teams, and that means they are not contesting offensive rebound. That means Tatum will get wide open rebounds, so without contest. So when teams are not taking offensive board,
rebound leader. I'm just looking at that right now.
That's crazy that he's plus 130 and the next closest rebounder is plus 500. But that makes entirely too much sense, even because the fact that he like nobody on the Pacers even like really messes with leading their team in rebound chances. You know what I mean? So if you go to teams, where's tracking right there?
And also too as well, like last series, right? Like just let's look at like Siakam's rebounds, like to make a case for him.
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
Where will he be? Will he be tracking Tatum to maybe grab to defend him, and that could also hurt with rebounding chances. So maybe like an under could be an interesting look for him compared to last series. Like the Knicks didn't really have that type of player,
right?
Like Tatum.
100%. So I'm now in the conference semis for that Indy series versus New York. Miles Turner did end up with the most rebound chances in like the first 3 or 4 games of this series. I don't like 1 or 2 people would have double-digit rebound chances in the same game for this squad, right? And the Knicks were making shots, but.
Have you seen Tatum rebounds against the Pacers in regular season?
Is it nice?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's been doing this. Yeah, 12, 12, 13.
A little misleading, though, Pips, because like Siakam only played 1 of those games. I don't know. I don't really like look too much into those like historical stuff for this series.
It's true that on January 30th, when Pascal actually played, that's when he had his lowest game. They only won. That was the closest game, too. This is the only one that comes close to giving us like an example and a use case. Even though Delano Blanton was still on the team, for the Celtics. So, and now you kind of replace Horford with Kristaps and Horford.
Yeah, but in that game, Porzingis had the most rebounds for the Celtics. Right. He's not playing now.
Right, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Al Horford is a little bit less, and I actually took an under for Papa Al.
I think if one player is going to get double-digit rebounds, it's Tatum in this game. So plus 130 for Tatum is like probably a good number.
Minus 125 on DraftKings. The thing with me is I actually may take this as a prop. I just want to know if it's widely available. So we have FanDuel, DraftKings. You know any other books that would have this?
I don't know if MGM does or not. I actually have that with my soccer stuff. Does MGM give us that? I wonder.
I actually like that a lot because the 10.5 could seem a little bit high, but I would feel more confident just making him the rebound leader.
Yeah. I haven't seen it anywhere but those 2 books, to be honest. And FanDuel is just copying DraftKings at that point because they've been had it. But yeah, I mean, that makes sense to me. Most rebounds. There we go. It's on MGM as well. It's minus 160. I got to hit that for the juice alone. I mean, that's insane.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm going to probably put that
plus 110 on FanDuel for him to lead the game in rebounds. I'm just going back real quick to see what his rebounding chances were in this last series as well.
Tatum is plus 125 at ESPN.
And if you have
ESPN, DraftKings, FanDuel. I need to see if Hard Rock has it. Do you think Caesars has it?
I'm starting to think they do. MGM has it for minus 160.
I think
this is about to go down. Just so everybody knows, there's always snitches in the chat. Somebody in here is like Joe at DraftKings or whatever, wherever you're at in the chat is already like on this shit with us. So I'm putting this in now because they know way in 20 minutes that Tatum over leading rebounder at plus 110.
Also, did you guys see this? I don't know. I was watching one of the games. They had like a timeout, and then they had like the player. You know how they have those things where like you hear what the players are talking about in the court.
Yeah.
And Brown was like, "Come on, Tatum, get those rebounds." He was saying to him, so like they actively like are pushing for this guy to grab rebounds and jumpstart transition. You know?
Yeah, that's hilarious. Yeah, I'm gonna get him in here.
Man. Come on.
Yo, that's crazy. Let me. I'm gonna invite Daft too in case he wants to come in. Let's just get this thing bumping.
Yeah, I'm trying to see.
Dude, that's crazy.
That's probably gonna be one of my props for sure. If it's more than 3 books.
Yeah. We got at least 4. It's probably on Caesars as well, if I had to guess at this point. With the amount
can
of
anyone check?
copies
Can anyone check Caesars? I don't have access to Caesars. Only
I'm checking
book.
right now. Yeah, I don't know where it would be, because they do have first quarter stuff.
Yeah, it's probably on there. If not, though, that's a lot of books that are still getting it. Can I ask you guys too, real quick? So, I mean, we gotta like Tatum to be the best rebounder in this game. Like I do, and it's in part.
You know
because
what? Yeah. Go for it. Yeah.
Well, I was just saying in part because I don't trust the Pacers. I don't trust one Pacer to be the person to get the bulk of rebounds. I don't like. Let me put it this way, real quick, with the centers, since we're talking about it. Between Horford and Miles Turner, right? The conversation is like both dudes stand outside the 3-point line. Do either of you guys have a take on their rebounds as a result? Like, I'm under on both of them PRA in this game.
Yeah, I mean, you know what the case is. It's like we kind of saw a little bit with Hartenstein went a little bit earlier on in the season, right? Like Turner pulls him away because Turner likes to take a lot of those spot up shots. And the same, like it could be the opposite way around too, right? Turner will probably be pulled away from the rim if he's going to be having to defend Horford, you know?
Yep. Exactly. That's where I'm at. So yeah, I took both those dudes under PRA, like Lazy Bunny TV's coming in. I love your picture.
And did you see in the last game too? So he went off, like he went crazy, Horford, but all of those shots were uncontested. If you like look at the you know how to do it, like
totally. So I'm gonna go to
the last game, and like that's not gonna happen against like Obi Toppin does a good job keying in on the perimeter guys, like on defense, to make sure they're not getting easy looks.
Yeah. So you're talking about Turner shots?
That was an idea I had. I like the under PR for him. I kind of like that actually.
For Miles?
No, for Horford.
Oh, for Horford. Yeah. Oh, so you were talking about the other game. They played.
Yeah, check out that other game where he like exploded, and you'll see how many of those were uncontested.
Yeah. When the hell is the last time they played basketball?
Right.
They've been waiting for a minute. So I'm going to look at player tracking for Al Horford, uncontested versus contested, right? He had 15 uncontested shots and 0 contested shots.
That's not going to happen this game. Jesus.
That's what you're talking about. Oh, we got Dan in here too. What's up, Big Dan? Hold on. Let me get you on here. Need to add something. How you doing?
Can you let me know, Prop, when you check the Caesars line?
I can't find it, man. I'm trying to find it on my phone right now.
Yeah.
Hang on, Dan. I got you in here. Filling up the screen.
Totals first quarter, maybe race 2.
Damn dog. What's up, Big Dan?
What's happening, Kings?
Not much,
What's up? You got the rare 4-person screen.
Yeah. Just got done being a good dad. Proud of you, man. Proud of you. Kids come first. They're the future. But now you got to make some money for your daughter. Yeah. But yeah, now we got to talk about some bets. So you hold on, because I know we're going back in time here, but you were the contrarian under Halliburton. I believe your exact phrase was "fuck Halliburton." I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I feel like that's what you're talking about.
Caesar's pets, yeah.
I would never say that.
Yeah.
No, I agree with all the call outs on Halliburton. The way that I think about it is this series is probably going to go 6 games. Celtics probably win 4-2. And I think over 6 games, you'll find that Hallie's going to go over this prop line more often than not. What I'm playing into is this game 1 and him going with his natural tendency. He's a pass-first point guard, and in a new series, I was definitely leaning to the under. I took the under 19.5, nice and early.
It's not 17.5 now, though. It was a huge edge.
Yep.
And then I also took the, I think, under 14.5. I got it like plus 350 or something.
Wow.
And I just found
under 15.
in game 1, I feel like he needs to be in the right mindset to get aggressive. And throughout that Knicks series, there was a lot of responding. He had to respond. That's how I chose to play him today. Because I think he just bitches it in game 1. Real casual take. But over the series, he'll hit the over more than not. I just think in the first game, I was happy to go with the under.
Yeah. A little bit kind of like a mix of all the analysis that we were talking about.
Yeah.
I think makes sense.
Yeah,
I think game 2.
19.5.
19.5, though, that's more like I would probably lean the under on that, but
right.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I said over 17.5 because I think he'll get shots up, and even when he's inefficient, he'll cover because the matchup is not easy for him. I just think too low of a line for the usage he will be having in this game one. So yeah.
It's a little bit of a mindset thing, and that's the part of the game one stuff that you have to look at is like obviously coaching comes into play here, but also there's just going to be player tendencies. Daft, real quick, would you go over on assists with that logic if he's looking to pass? Did he have those kind of games? He had 8 in both of the first game twos in this playoff.
He's legally works.
I might have a parlay with Halliburton under points over assists. Yeah.
Yeah. Pips is good about that too. The once he has a correlation, maybe take a little alt on both sides, right? Which I like.
That's my way to go a lot of times.
Yeah, I like that.
Because I agree, his usage rate is going to be high. I just question the volume and whether he's going to take the shots that he needs to cover that prop.
Right.
I think he's going to try it first. I think what's going to happen is he's probably going to his natural way of going into the game is to see maybe be pass first. Let's see which of these players has the good matchups. But I think what he's going to see as the game goes on is that these players aren't going to be as open as they were against the Knicks. And okay, I think I need to start scoring if I want to make this team win. So
I agree. I think one thing that impacted my decision was the game script. How do you feel like this game's going to go? Because I think a lot of people are leaning on Boston to destroy the Pacers in game one, or at least to cover. And
which would be destroying
Boston
them.
Have been great. Yeah, Boston have been great in these game ones, and I feel like it could be a letdown spot for a lot of the points props for the Pacers for that reason. Unless I like the Pacers bench to get some buckets today, and I think Pips, you said something about the bench guys getting more of a run in game ones as well.
Yeah.
So can we target somebody that's a backup here, and with what you guys with that logic in general?
CJ McConnell. CJ McConnell should have a good usage, a lot of shots up for him. He's the guy that's always driving and then trying to see where to kick out. And if the help never comes, no one is open, so he'll need to take the shots up. And also look at the shot chart for him against the Boston Celtics.
All right here.
He scores a lot from paint non-restricted, and Boston allows the most from paint non-restricted.
Oh yeah, right here. Yep. Yeah, this is. I mean, I was saying this earlier. Can you think of anything more certain than TJ McConnell making a shot from 8 feet away? I would rather have McConnell 8 feet away from the basket than some guys 2 feet away from the basket. It's insane how often that shot. I haven't seen it touch a rim in the playoffs, much less not go in. So I fully agree with that. I took the assist for him, but really, I took the points and assists. But there's only one place that happens at 10.5. Everywhere else is 9.5. And for me, it comes down to hood math, as we say, which is he takes 10 shots, he makes 5 of them. That's 10 points. So if his prop is under 10 points in the playoffs, I'm fucking taking it. He doesn't even shoot a 3. In fact, I told people in the Discord, if you want to take a nice little easy parlay piece, go under a one made 3 for TJ McConnell. He's not even going to pull it in half of the games, much less make one. So yeah, I like him to score all his 2s and take those shots. Plus his stuff on the road, I just want to bring that up too, has been a little bit better, I believe. Well, maybe not actually. I thought he was getting more run at home, but I guess not. And this is still at 10.5 though, so let me make it 9.5.
Fellas, I do want to interrupt real quick. I am going to make the Tatum rebound leader thing an official play. I like that a lot.
Hell yeah, put that under yours as well.
But look for the TJ McConnell game one's usage. He was the leader almost.
Yeah, last game one.
Both game ones.
Really?
The highest usage game in Bucks series was game 1. The highest usage game of the Knicks series was game 1.
Yeah.
Probably correlated with Halliburton being passive. So I don't know.
Yeah, that makes sense. And they did have them playing a decent amount by the end of this series against the Knicks. Carlisle had the 2-guard lineup with both those dudes in there, so that makes sense. I'm going to update what we're looking at here. Let me TJ McConnell is just a favorite. Yeah, I put that. That's scrolling up on the bottom line. So if you needed any sort of more motivation to bet that, like I think pretty much we're all aligned on that, which might be a reason to fade it when we're all group thinking that we like it. But more importantly, let me
No,
finish,
we got some sharp minds here.
No, I know. I'm just fucking with us. In fact, I prefer that we have plenty of people in here to look at it. But what about the Pascal stuff? I just want to finish that real quick because we were on Pascal real quick when we interrupted ourselves because I have ADD like crazy. So for Pascal, like I don't trust him. I know in the last 3 games he went over. It's at 19.5 now. I just straight up don't trust him. I think he was able to take advantage of no OG Anunoby. He was able to take advantage of who else is there at that point, right? Like it was just mismatch city for the Knicks, who were just dropping like flies. If you look at the Milwaukee series, as soon as Bobby P got put on him, then we were all like, great, let's go back to those unders for Bobby Portis guarding Pascal, right? So I'm still kind of in the same boat. I mean, some of these games he didn't show up for because they were blowouts, like 1 by 32. They lost this one. So I don't know what you guys do with that, but I'm consistently like, if Pascal is at 19, 20 or 19.5 or 20.5 points, I'm out. Once he gets up to like 22.5, I'm like, great, let me go under. And if he's anywhere below 19.5, I'm like, I'll probably take an over. But like, that's what he does, is score between 19 and 21 points like every game. So that's why I kind of stay away once I get to this 19.5 number for him. But the only other thing would be the rebounds. I'm not sure if anybody had anything there, but since I like Tatum to be the leading rebounder, I don't really feel the need to go in on under or anything like that for Pascal. I think Tatum's good for 10 boards, and that should be good enough for the game. And that's all I have on the boards, Tate. But
yeah. Siakam is honestly an enigma just to bet on in general. I mean, he's really tough to guess. We don't know if this game will be close. If it's not, I mean, who knows? But with him too, like last series, his jump shot was actually falling for him. I think he had really good efficiency, at least like closing the series. That's big for him going into this game. He needs to have that shot falling. If we're going to see maybe 2 players crash into him as he starts to drive towards the rim. So that's a big thing if that's going to be falling for him or not. I think that number is low because like I think it should be like 20 and a half, 21 and a half, then 19 and a half. But I don't think I personally would lean either side. Is my take.
Same.
I wouldn't bet Pascal Siakam today. I think he's a flat track bully. I think he'll take advantage of a good matchup if it presents itself. Against the Bucks, it was Brook Lopez. The minute Big Eye Bobby got on him, he slowed down completely. Same with the Knicks. He was quiet until OG went out. So unless he comes up with a favorable matchup, I don't see him going over. But I'm not man enough to bet the under for sure. I think the Celtics, they probably live with the McConnell, Nemhard, Obi. If they get buckets, it's not going to move the needle. It doesn't get them closer to a win. But someone like Pascal, I think he'll be near the top of the scouting report.
Right. So I'm looking at a couple other things I put up real quick, like either Drew, Derek White, Andrew Nembhard. Does anybody have a preference of like they would want to jump on there? Or we can just go through them all. Because I don't. Drew rebounds and assists. Then I'm going to take us there. Drew rebounds and assists was a look that somebody gave me, and I tell you right now, I really don't know what to do with Drew points at this point. He only confused me more by scoring over 13 in the last 3 games. When his prop was at like 9.5, it dropped all the way like 9.5 by the time he got to this game right here where he hit 18 against the Cavs, right? So as far as like points for Drew, is there anything here looking at like his season shot chart against this team? And this is, let me get to playoffs. Yeah, I'm on the playoffs. So if I'm looking at playoffs here, the play type analysis, like, yeah, he's going to be doing spot up stuff, right? Barely going to be in the pick and roll as the ball handler, I would guess. So I don't think there's a bet there for Drew on the points, but the rebounds and assists, and by the way, feel free to interrupt me at any point. The rebounds and assists also about 50-50. Now, I thought it was 8.5. No, yeah, it's all the way down. It's up to 9.5, and it's juice way to the over. So it just keeps getting bet up. So I'm actually now late to this at this point, and it's spilled over into 10.5. I would have gone over this with better juice at 9.5, but it's all the way down at this point. I do like him to kind of just do the other stuff, to be honest. That's where I'm coming from with Drew Holiday, is like, I just like him to do everything else besides shoot a ton, but I'm not sure if I have enough in the rebounding and I'm going back to his rebound chances real quick. Anybody have a thought on Drew? 8.4.
Yeah, a lot of Drew's upside comes from like the spot up shooting. Don't get me wrong, he's a great driver. No Kristaps Porzingis definitely needs to have more involvement in the offense, right? Like making up for him.
Yeah.
I think if I remember correctly, I actually faded his under in the regular season when they played the Pacers, just with how they aren't allowing the catch and shoot shots like compared to other teams.
Yeah.
Again, no opinion. I actually have I do have a lean though if we do want to get to Derek White eventually.
Oh yeah. Let's talk about Mr. White.
So my lean for Derek White is actually his over 4.5 assists.
Yeah,
I just think like the game is going to filter kind of towards inside the paint with Tatum and Brown kind of get into their zones. He leads all Boston Celtics players in assists to 2-point conversions. So in the last 6 games without Kristaps Porzingis, you can find this on PBP. 75% of his assists are going to 2-pointers, 25% are going to threes. So if he's going to be getting the ball and maybe not have a shot that he would have had last time, I could see him passing it a lot of it, or to Jaylen Brown, maybe getting that Tyrese Halliburton mismatch. He could drive on him. He had 8 assists the last time that he played the Pacers without Porzingis. So that was one time this season. And if you go on Props Madness, this is a cool thing, this cool tool I found. And you do without him and you put in Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. You do with Jason Tatum and then Drew Holiday. Also Drew Holiday.
And Andrew.
And then check this out. So since we know the Pacers don't really allow that many 3-pointers, do the dimension filter to say 3-pointers allowed top 15. So like to kind of like simulate as if he's going up against a top 15 3-point defense. And you'll see that assist number kind of has a high hit rate. Wait.
Am I missing? Oh, I have playoffs. Do regular season? No, it doesn't matter.
Wait, that's weird. I had it at 6 of 9 hit rate against top 13.
I'm doing this right?
Maybe do the minutes filter. Maybe like make him play like 30 minutes. Essentially, like the read here is that I think it's just the offense is going to be filtered towards the inside the paint and the perimeter, then the perimeter. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. I agree entirely. Honestly, like this was a look for me because it was at like plus 115. It got dropped down a little bit, but it still makes total sense to me that like the assist would be a play for Derek White against a team that like is going to close out on him pretty hard from 3. Right. That would be the thought process there. Did you have anything on that, Pips? I'm trying to read your facial expressions, and I can't tell if it's something that's like
he's just interested.
I don't know. 4.5 White. It's so much. I don't like assist against Pacers. I mean the process from Pro Bowl makes sense. He will probably be passing to Brown, then they attack the rim and score, attacking closeouts, and that makes sense.
Yeah.
But from the game 1, I don't know. I need to see the game 1. I don't like to make a ton of bets before the game 1. We need to see how they are going to approach it.
Yeah. That's fair. I would consider that too. Like because I was looking at that PB, like I was looking at assists for D White, and my thought process was just basically 4.5 is that number. Like if it was 3.5, and honestly, if you were to use like 3+ or something like that, which is available on books as like a prop as a parlay piece, that makes a little bit of sense to me as well. I like for me, it comes down to, is he going to shoot that 3 or is he going to get the assist, right? And we're getting him at 2.5 for no juice. The threes would be the next place I would look at that. Did you ever thought about D White, Daft? I think I saw you liking the threes a little bit more.
I like his appearance, hairstyle. That's my first thought.
His what?
D White. His appearance, hairstyle.
Yeah.
Can you say like the appearance?
Yeah.
We've got the same haircut. So
you like bald guys.
I do.
I like that.
It's a daft look. No, I don't mind the assist prop, but similar to Pips, it's the game one-sided thing and how Indiana kind of they just prefer to let people score instead of getting the assists off. I've got to run them in the office, but my last thought is connecting to what PB said. I like the Jaylen Brown points prop for those same reasons. If there was a prop to Jaylen Brown to make 3 left-hand layups, I would take that immediately because I can see that happening time and time again. But I'm going to run.
All right, yeah.
We'll do this again soon.
Good to have you, bro. Just
See you, bro.
Just so long as Jaylen Brown doesn't have to dribble with his left hand to get the left-handed layup, then he'll be fine. But man can't dribble with his left, so that might be a problem. All right, good stuff though. Yeah, I'm personally, like I said, passed on the Derek White assists. I actually am starting to feel like the threes is still a decent way, but at 2.5 at -174, I can't condone that.
I need to ask Pro Bomb and put him on the spot a little bit. Miles Turner over 15.5 points.
Yeah, I don't know what to think of that line either. I don't know if he has to hit his 3-pointers, if Horford is going to be more on him, or if he's going to be on drop coverage. 15. Yeah,
I'll say this: drop coverage, both Cornet and Al Horford, wide open mid-range, wide open pocket pass, single coverage inside. If they switch, he'll be on smaller guys, also single coverage. Only way Pacers can win this if Miles Turner has a huge game.
He also has to score a lot in the rim. I mean, in last series, 80% of his points were away from the rim. So there is potential upside if he can get those points now at the rim with a different matchup.
Yeah.
15.5.
I personally, I've told a lot of people this. I hate
let's look at this.
Miles.
Yeah, I hate it as well. But let's go through the first 4 games against the Bucks when they played drop coverage. He scored 17, 22, 29, 29.
How did he score 29 points? 7 of 9 from 3. That's how he did.
Yeah, but he was left wide open.
Yeah,
and he made those shots. And then next 2 unders, because they went to, like, we decided to stop. We bet it, if you remember, Prop. We bet under like games 5 or 6 because they switched. They stopped playing drop coverage. They played switch.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And that's under, like, Celtics
are not
doing.
He's going to be drop coverage on him? Like, do you think he's just going to give him the open looks?
Al Horford is too old to be up there. Like, he needs to be in drop coverage. Like, I don't think we can play 30 minutes. And Cornet is a guy that won't leave the paint. Like,
so he's going to get threes.
The thing is, who the fuck is scared of Miles Turner?
I love when he curses, man.
Yeah,
it just hits harder.
Miles Turner.
I'm not scared of Miles Turner. He's the prettiest 7-foot dude I know. There's no chance I'm scared of him at all.
Yeah, look at this.
Well,
This idea, like, if teams adjust to, if Boston Celtics adjust to stop Miles Turner, that means they're fucking scared, and then you, like, you give opponent even more, like, I don't know, energy to play. Like, they are adjusting on Miles Turner. Like, makes no sense to, like, I don't know the English word for it, but
game
like,
plan for him, basically.
Yeah.
Like,
well, look in that game. Okay, in the head-to-heads, what did you say? Was Siakam again? Siakam wasn't playing those games, so
the head-to-head stuff.
What about the games when Siakam was playing, like versus the Celtics? What was his points?
Let's see. So I'm gonna put Siakam in here.
They played only one game.
He only played one game, right? Yeah, he had 2 threes, 17 points, 2 threes.
Yeah,
but look at the usage. 1 from 4
shots.
Yep. And look at the usage on, like, he was 1 from 4 on free throws, which is not never happening, and 2 from 7 from 3, which is kind of happening. But this is insane usage. Like,
18 shots is a lot of usage. What about in general on the season? This is with Siakam. This is threes also, my bad. We can keep it on points for 1 sec. 15.5. His number is 16 to 17.5 consistently. So getting the 15.5 is definitely, like, I don't know, the implied probability there. It's crazy.
Okay, hold on a second. Hold on. Wait.
Also, all that happened in 25 minutes. 18 field goal attempts. He's playing 32 plus tonight for sure.
Damn. Yeah, he played 26
All right,
minutes.
so where do you project? Yeah, where do you project? Do you think he's going to get 32 plus minutes.
I'm going to go to RotoWire real quick. I know they're not always the best, but they've been close enough recently.
You
They're
can just put
projected
30 plus minutes and see that he's covering this in 83% of the games.
They have him at
Just 30 plus.
they have him at 32 minutes
You know what
tonight.
I think would be the better play is just take his over 1.5 threes. I don't know.
I know. That's what I started to believe in.
That line has never been available at all since today of this series. Normally it's 2.5, right?
Right. I mean, just with Siakam, this is just with Siakam in general. This isn't even any other filter.
But
this is just him going over 16 to 12.
Let's check this. Let's put entire season on the line.
Oh, right. I only have
then, put entire season plus 30 plus minutes.
Yeah, 30 plus. I would also take out Mathurin too.
And then look at the points. Look at the threes and look at the points. Yeah.
No Benny Matz, 11 for 15.
And also remember, do Halliburton too, because remember he missed some of those games as well.
So with Hallie?
Yeah,
he didn't miss any of this.
No, he was in there for these ones. 11, because by this time it's March 10th already by the first game. So Halliburton was back. But the hit rate is very nice. The points hit rate is even better.
Wow, okay.
Because it's at 15.5 points.
And
1.5 is a line, but what's that, Pip?
It's a game against Miami. It's a game against Thunder. It's a game against the Bulls. But there are not most of these games are playoffs games. So using Mathurin off and Siakam in kind of just lowers the sample size. Like just put 30 plus minutes and
so without all those guys.
Yeah. With Siakam just.
Yeah. So Siakam's in there. This is 30.
I don't think Mathurin affects like a lot from Turner because now TJ McConnell is having insane usage and using all of the Mathurin shots. My opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, this number dropped. What's the PRA? Because I got it up at 25.5 that I went under. So it's still 24.5. But the points are so low now. 15.5. That's not a bad play. Is this starting to tickle your fancy, Prop Bomb?
I don't know. I'm not really like leaning over. I know what the hit rate says one thing, but
I hate betting Miles Turner. I started off the segment with that.
The hit rate says one thing. Sure, it's playoffs, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Defensive coverage is probably the best possible.
Yeah.
Like old Horford, Cornet, who is slow as fuck.
Cornet won't play. I don't know. I feel like the threes could be the better play than the points.
I don't see how this is a series for Luke Cornet. Honestly.
He must play 15 minutes.
You think so?
Yeah, Horford is too old to play.
Oh, because of Horford being old.
Horford is too old.
That's fair. I mean, Horford played 39 minutes in one game last series.
Maybe game 6 or 7, you play Horford more, but game 1, sure not.
That's a really good point, Yeah, it took them a minute to get Cornet involved, and then when he did, I mean, the rebounds were also good. He dicked me in this game 1 and then started to play a bit better, but interesting. This is with Jaylen Brown for some reason. Oh, wow. It kept it up from the Boston player. It kept up the filter of Jaylen Brown from when I switched to Boston and Pacers players. That's crazy. The site's fire. All right, let's do a couple more here. I'm passing on Miles Turner. I took an under on him already. I'm going to stick with it for game 1. I think the points are starting to. I understand the look for the points with Papa Al being as old as he is, so I get that. But there's nothing there enough for me. So
the problem for this is like when you look at the Halliburton number too low, when you look at Siakam number too low, when you look at Turner number too low, it can be that everyone is too low. It's just a very much different matchup for the Bucks. But for the Pacers.
But I don't think the books know what to do with it.
I don't know if Knicks are playing worse defense or slower pace than Celtics. So I don't think this drop off in the points is actually makes sense. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think the lines are maybe too low for game 1.
Yeah,
blowout chance for sure, but
I like the
matchup for Halliburton and Turner.
Yeah, And at this point, I like the over in this game, so I can't just take unders on everybody. But I'm actually in a position
That's
of
what
having.
the thing. Remember, Pips, you were telling me this. Like in the playoffs, they make these lines low to attract people to play the over.
Yeah,
You know, they make them low on purpose.
Yeah, I fully agree with that.
When I know that he's getting wide open looks for the entire game, I must reconsider.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're gonna like give a lot of catch and shoot shots. I mean, he's gonna have to like really hit his threes to get to the points.
I mean, Celtics are giving catch and shoots for.
You know what would be interesting? Here, check me out. Go on the props minus thing. So like the points in for Turner. What happens? What's the hit rate look like for the 15.5 when he doesn't make 2 threes? Let's say he makes 0 to 1. Like, does he need to have those 2 threes to get there? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, but 0.
Or do one exactly, right? Maybe that's a little bit better. Does he get there in games? Did he get there at all if there was ever a game where he just hit 1 3?
This is with Siakam on the season, 1 3 at the most, and this hit rate drops a ton, 6 for 21. He definitely needs to hit a 3.
I think he needs to hit 2 to get this hit rate.
Yeah, he's got to hit 2, and it's at 1.5, juiced a bit down for the threes. But no, this is 0 to 1.
I don't see it like you see it. Like, put Siakam out and put 1 3, not 0 to 1. Put
don't do 0, do 1.
It's kind of good. Like, I don't know.
Oh, he still gets it too. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let me.
He's more likely to get 2 than get 1. So.
Yeah. 4 of 10 with Siakam. Overall, though, about a 50%.
I don't know. Like, I don't think Siakam, when Siakam is in and Maturin is out, that's like evens out.
Yeah.
From the usage part. Because then you have Nembhard and Naismith playing huge minutes, and they won't get shots at all, especially against good spot-up defense. So that means all the usage goes to Haliburton, Turner, Siakam, and McConnell. And this will be high-paced game. So out of 90 field goal attempts, they're probably getting 70 or like 60. So it's 15 plus for everyone almost. Like.
Right. So you're saying there's not going to be very many shots for guys like Nembhard, Obi Top, and Nesmith.
This I agree with. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can't believe Nesmith hit 2 threes last game. So I'm so fucking pissed. I had under 2 threes made, and then with garbage time and a 30-point blowout, he hits a corner 3, goes 2 for 2. So frustrating. I'd still go under 1.5 for this asshole. Just kidding. He's a nice guy, but like he just
and they know his tendencies too because he used to be on the team. You know,
right. Former Celtic, exactly.
Former top 15 pick for the Celtics.
Yep, 100%. I still like under the 3 for Nesmith if anyone's interested. But do you guys have a bet for either of those dudes, Nembhard or Nesmith? Because I'm gonna wrap here in a sec.
Do you want to look at let's
look at one of them at least, because I mean I'd rather start with Nembhard. He's a more interesting player to me right now. The way he's
what do you think as far as like the 3-point volume looks like? Because that's how I've been kind of finding success, and I use Props Madness. I thank you, Pips, for this website. Like when I like look at the volume and like what that hit rate turns to. Like, do you think what's the at most you guys think he takes like threes today? 6 to 7 shots? 5?
Yeah. This is great. Yeah. So you're talking about threes or shots?
Just threes and 3-pointers. Like, what do you think? Like,
right now in the playoffs, he's averaging like 3.5 attempts from deep.
Probably 2 to 3.
Yeah.
2 or 3 shots from 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2. Yeah, probably.
I mean,
yeah. So like even in these where he went 3 for 5, 3 for 4. Even in the ones he hit, he went 2 for 3 and 3 for 4. That ain't something I want to bank on for him to go over. Yeah. That's for damn sure. So they have this line of 1.5.
Under on this, to be honest with you.
Do what now?
I said that would probably be one of my leans is the under on his threes.
Right. It's just juiced all the way down. Minus 230. If you want to take
I was looking at I'm sorry. When I said I was looking at Naismith, not Nembhard.
Gotcha. I'm for sure an under on Nesmith. The hell.
What do you
outta
think?
here.
Do you also think he's going to take 3? No, he'll probably take like 4 to 5, right? Or
Yeah, 5
You think so?
probably.
4, 3, 4, 3.
you could do 3 to 5, like what that looks like.
Yeah,
But
let's
that
see.
what
Let me see real quick. 3-point attempts.
Yep. Looks good.
I think 3 to 5 makes sense. This is in the playoffs right here.
Yeah, what if you take that out?
On the season, 8 for 22, taking 3 for 5. This is threes. Do you want me to look at points?
Okay, sure, yeah.
So for the threes, he's at 8 for 22 on the over 1.5 when he takes 3 to 5. On the points, 50% hit rate when he takes that many.
Yeah, so that's how they said that's it's a pretty good line.
Yeah, it's at 54%. That makes sense, but it's minus 128 to the over. So you probably lose that edge, to be honest. And I hate betting Neesmith unless I can bet on that under threes. I just kind of hate that for him. I mean, he's just I hate dudes that it's like, it's a make or miss league. Like, is he gonna make his 8 shots or is he not gonna? That's where we start to get into gambling and not like handicapping. You know,
I have a fucking funny story.
Go for
I
it.
bet Brunson under threes against the Pacers 2 times. He went up. He scored 3 threes in only 2 out of 7 games. Both times when I bet the under.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, you took the under versus the Pacers. Oh, you know what I like too? Speaking of that, that was very bad luck. Very bad luck. What about Tatum? This is kind of it kind of goes against your story, but Tatum over threes.
Yeah.
Over. Now with Tatum, I think is going to be more isolation type threes where he finds his mismatch than get the catch and shoot threes.
Yeah.
He took 8 3-pointer attempts the last times he played the Pacers. Yeah. What do you think about those play pips? Or 2.5.
Check playoffs Tatum threes.
Take
What?
what?
Can you just put Tatum playoffs threes? Like he can make a shot to save his life.
Yeah, but that's when you buy low on him. I mean, he's also had 6 days of rest. I mean, maybe he comes out with rest, or maybe he comes out with a little bit more. Like, I think with him, he's going to want to try to use switches and get maybe Miles Turner on the perimeter and try to do some dribble moves and do a pull up.
Yeah, he'll shoot put up threes.
Yeah, how are they?
He'll get up isolation threes for sure in this game.
I want to see what the data looks like for pull-up 3-pointers. The Pacers allow.
That they allow? Can I look at that?
I can look that up real quick.
Okay, yeah, if you have it. I know the pull-up stuff is a little bit hard to get defense for because I have to go. Oh no, it's tracking data.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They have the 7th most out of the 16 teams in the playoffs
that they're allowing.
Yeah.
But it's going to be all pull up for Tatum. My buddy likes Tatum to lead the series in threes made at plus 500. For the bet that he likes for the same logic of what you're using here, PB, which is like, first of all, fade it, and second of all, fade what's the recent numbers that seem like outliers. If he's 2 for 8, 2 for 8, 2 for 6, 2 for 7, 2 for 6.
I'm not really okay. I think we could throw away the Miami Heat series. Like that was just a very tough matchup in general.
Sure.
So I'm not really putting too much weight into that. But no, what Pips is saying is that he just can't make a fucking shot.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think he gets 7 to 9 looks here, or maybe and he just and we just get some positive regression going our way.
Yep. That's what the Pacers want. I mean, that's what they're going to do. That's what
they're going to want. That, yeah, they would rather want him to be a jump shooter than him to get those easy rim baskets, essentially.
Yeah, because they can't protect the rim.
Let Jaylen Brown, I guess, and that's where I think they could maybe Jaylen Brown gets those points.
Yeah,
that would be another type of look. Pips, anything or do you lean one way? I know you don't really like 3-pointer props that often.
I mean, you're getting over 2.5. You're still getting minus 129 for Tatum threes, and you get 2.5. 3 for 8, 3 for 9. That's what we're saying here, and both of those are well within his range if he's not shooting as poorly as he has in the last couple series. So I do think Tatum over is a bit of a look there for the threes.
I can actually look what his like percentage is like in general, like the shot dashboard, like what he is shooting like on the regular season from pull up threes, Tatum, and like compare that with the playoffs and just see like what that maybe it's just a regression thing, you know?
Yeah,
I can see that.
But I would see that coming back to the average, to be honest. But what time is this game to start at? Yeah, this game starts in an hour from now. Okay, word. That's perfect. I think I'm gonna call it here, y'all. Yeah, because I just wanted to get some looks in. We have some stuff to look at for game 2, especially. Like I'm be keeping an eye on a lot of stuff here that we need to get ahead, like keep in mind for next game. So I got those notes. I'm sure you guys do too. But we'll come back to this. I appreciate you guys jumping on, man. This was huge because this is tough to get into game 1. You know, like we need as many angles as possible that we're looking at here to kind of stay honest with stuff. And that's what I appreciate about having you guys on, is like keeping each other honest more than anything. So we'll be back. I'll be back tomorrow for sure. Gonna have a video out tonight as well. So appreciate everybody tuning in. Make sure you give these guys a follow. Got their ats on Twitter here as well. And then I know Peeps does his daily stuff too with the videos. PB's got the Discord. If you guys are interested in taking a look at that, my man handing out winners at a ridiculous rate, more than plus 90 units on the season. So appreciate both you guys though, for sure, man. I'll be pestering you to get back on here within the next couple days or week or so. See if you're around. All right.
Thanks everyone thanks for doing this. I mean, it helps me out too. I like having different viewpoints.
100%. All right, fellas. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate everyone tuning in. Definitely subscribe to that page if you're not yet. We'll keep coming back to you. And until I do see you next, happy betting.